stay still, the thoughts of you are sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to, but I know you try. But I've heard you've been here before. But I won't stay the same, it's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change, I know it's me and you. But I don't stay the same, I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. Babe, I wanna know, is it heartfelt or maybe just a little? Cause you don't really see me like you used to. But you hold on to me cause all you do is settle. I've heard you've been here before. But I don't stay the same, it's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change, I know it's me and you. But I don't stay the same, I'm just adjusted to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. But I don't stay the same, it's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change, I know it's me and you. But I don't stay the same, I'm just adjusted to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. If I stay still, the thoughts of you are sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to, but I know you try. But I've heard you've been here before. But I won't stay the same, it's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change, I know it's me and you. But I don't stay the same, I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to.
I think that hurt my head.
Well, that's what happens when you have a sinus infection.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't
Don't
do
do
that.
that. I go, me mamo,
No.
pumpernickel,
Okay.
pumpernickel.
Happy Friday. It's Friday.
Happy Friday. We made it to Friday.
Feels like a Saturday.
Yep. It does. I felt like a day. I had no idea what day it was. Most of the blur of our life is coming to not an end, but
A change.
a bend.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a turn. We're going to get into that after we talk about a couple things. What's up, everybody?
What up? Hi, Keith.
Hello,
Said,
Keith.
shake it out.
I was trying to, but I think I'm fighting a sinus infection. So when you shake your head like that, it just feels like somebody just punched you in the side of the face. So whatever. Yeah, check out our Patreon, please. Patreon.com/Siren Scooter. That's Sarah with an H. No ampersand. Spell out the word and.
A-N-D.
Because we're gonna as we're turning into this new bend, as we get to what we'll talk about. If you look at the title of the episode, you would know.
We missed a step. We didn't cheers.
No, we're getting there.
Oh,
Right after the Patreon, I thought.
cheers is always the first thing of the show.
Oh, go to patreon.com/Siren Scooter. That's Sarah with an H. No ampersand. Spell out the word and.
Por favor.
Okay, let's do the shot then. This is Kirkland
Salud.
Irish whiskey. Lunch of a.
Salud.
We're budgeting.
It's good.
It's not bad.
It's no
actually not bad.
Tillamourdeau, but it's
It's-
good.
I mean, similar to it, I can't do a shot.
Tillamourdeau's delicious.
The sip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do shots. But thanks.
What's going on there with your face?
It had a delayed reaction. Okay, it's fine.
He's back.
I am back. So next up is our sponsors. What's our sponsors? Elever Consulting. Go to eleverconsulting.com for a complimentary introductory consultation.
That was rough.
Huh?
That was weird.
There was a remix. But please go check them out. We're going to visit this amazing human being very soon. But go check it out. It's very life skillish.
Yeah.
Right? Skillish.
Skillety.
That's my thing. I'm going to ish all night.
Okay.
Ready? Talk about ish.
Our other sponsor is Yaya's Embroidery.
Large cam.
On the grain. Oh, it's fuzzy.
Scooter.
Lame.
Why does that happen sometimes?
I don't know. I
Alright.
don't know anything about technology. So Yaya's Embroidery, she does hats, she does shirts, she does all the things, embroidery, screen printing, shirts, jackets, all the fun stuff.
Yeah, if you see in the camera, those are the embroidered hats that she made for me. I
Yeah.
wear at least 2 of them a week. I don't wear the shout out. I don't wear the shout out as much because I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know.
We need to order some that are the normal size because my
Yeah.
head's way too small for these.
Yeah.
Even though
But
I feel like I have a big head, but
They turned out so good.
yeah, they're gnarly.
So, and I'm thinking we're going to probably order some of these types of things, maybe one of these for a giveaway.
Ooh,
Because we don't have a lot of subscribers, but we have 94.
nice.
So I'm thinking
do a
once we hit
randomly.
100,
Ooh,
yeah, no, we do like 100. Because I think we're almost rounded out to our 100th episode. We're 10 away from our 100th episode.
that's
also,
crazy.
we're 10 episodes away from our 100th
That's
episode. So we're also only 6 subscribers left to make it to 100.
We get at 100 on our 100th episode.
I think that'd be cool.
or before.
Yeah. So if you haven't subscribed and you're listening to this afterwards or before, please click it. It's just for fun. This is not something we do for revenue. It is sponsored. So putting these things together doesn't cost us anything because we are sponsored by the 2 sponsors that we have. So it does help out. But yeah.
Yeah.
So please.
Mention Siren Scooter, you get 10% off your whole order.
Yes, on some amazing products. Anything that can take a stitching, I think she can stitch it.
It's really good.
I mean, if it's legal.
Right.
Don't ask her to put stitching on your skin,
Yeah,
guys.
that's crazy.
Don't be weird.
Super weird. I'm
Weird.
very
That does sound kind of cool though.
lean backy today because I put my footrest under the table.
This is insane.
and
I gave her too
I'm
much
just
luxury.
chilling. It's kind of nice.
I gave her an ottoman for her feet,
I know.
and now she's
I was like, oh, I can just put it on the table and just lean. I'm all
all
for
right.
it.
Yep, money on my mind on my money.
You ready for some stuff?
Lean back. Let's do it.
Good thing. I was scared you were gonna push it too.
And we're back. No, it's
and
changing
we were gonna
cameras.
Mess it up.
No, it's changing cameras. That way, you can see our. I was gonna say beautiful faces, but Sarah's beautiful face, and then this
Stop shaking your head.
graying, washed out white mug of mine.
You're barely gray.
Oh, it depends on the day.
Yeah.
It really does. Really weird.
They're a little more peppery today. And salt.
Okay, thanks.
It also feels like you have like a storm line going through your hair.
That freaked me out, man.
Oh, blanket.
So hold on for a second. I thought it was the fan that was blowing air on my foot underneath it. I was like, well, that's new. It's never done that before. Then it happened again. I was like, when do we get a cat? So we, with her feet underneath.
I also have my
the
blanket
desk
under there. I probably should have said that.
Yeah, the blanket brushed twice. The first time I thought, like I said, but the second time I was like, oh, something's up.
It's funny.
So, and we have seen a few more
Critters.
yeah, like insects in the house lately. So I thought, okay, there's a spider on my toe. Okay. So I just kind of nonchalantly looked and I was like, oh, okay. You know me with bugs and panic. I don't panic.
Yeah.
I just do something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was about to kill a spider on my foot while we were broadcasting.
It's fantastic.
It was great. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you interrupted me.
I don't know what I interrupted.
Good thing.
Oh, okay.
You want to go first? How many you got? I got like 6.
6.
Yeah, but they're going to be duplicates, I'm
Okay,
sure.
because mine's kind of, yeah. Okay. I feel like we start with the oldest because we weren't here last week.
Now I have to put them in different order.
You don't have to. I'm sorry.
Okay, got it.
Scooter's dad came to visit us
Yep.
from Canada.
And I have that same thing, but I put both.
Oh, both
Both
dads.
our dads.
Yeah, we said both
Both
dads.
my
and
dads
moms.
visited. It was
Yeah.
cool.
It was nice.
For different reasons. But yeah, my dad came and visited for 3 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 4 days.
Yeah.
Almost 4 days.
It was a trip.
It was a Sunday night till Wednesday morning.
Seeing like an old man version of Scooter who already thinks he's an old man, but seeing like an older man version of Scooter is very funny. Because I don't think Scooter thinks he's as much like his dad.
No, I know I am.
Okay.
No,
it's
and
bananas.
I didn't think as much, but the visit was every time that I spoke, I was like, that's his voice. And every time that, I mean, literally I would go, I'd say, I don't remember, there was some phrase I kept saying and going, that, he says that. I was like, what is happening right now? You know, and
they got in like a, not an argument, but they got in like a verbal thing.
mm-hmm.
And it was like watching Scooter argue with himself. And I was like, this is the best day of my life.
But I only said like 2 sentences until I just went, and I stopped talking. You know, I did. I was like,
but the fun thing is he reacts the same way you react. That's why it was like, it was literally watching you argue with yourself.
And
was
when I
like,
stopped talking, he stopped talking.
mm-hmm.
We took a pause. We were watching a show, and then he started talking to you, and then he talked to me again.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, very well done, on both our parts, because we did not agree at all on what we were talking about. But and
I don't remember what it was. It wasn't.
I
even
do,
the
but
thing.
we're not going to discuss that here because there's other people involved.
Okay.
And just because we have a video or a verbal platform,
yeah,
I don't think that's fair.
That's fine.
So,
but yeah, it was a very nice visit. Love Wayne. He's like one of the sweetest humans I know.
Yeah.
And he's just, yeah.
I mean, his heart is always right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those things of, I can see that. But as always, we're always making mistakes and trying to figure out life and those types of things. But
I think
for goodness sakes,
one of the cutest things,
get some cell service in the States while you're here.
But
that's
also
insane.
When so Scooter does this thing too, which I find funny. So if I like a certain kind of beer. I don't like all beers, but sometimes I will buy myself, like, I want a 4-pack. And then Scooter will drink my beer. And so when Scooter's dad was here, he ran out of his normal beer. Hey, CJ.
CJ's here.
CJ's here.
Pew, pew, pew.
Thanks for making it back.
He has stuff and a grad pokey thing.
I'll take it. Thanks.
Look at this.
Why would you do that?
So he went into the river.
Lake Natoma.
Are you having a discussion sidebar, or are you going to get on the mic? Because the cameras are running. We're going live. We're live. Yeah, we're live.
You want to tell us about your lake experience?
Nope. There's a mic. Listen.
You got
to share the mic. If you're going to, there's no sidebar in this. We're live.
Oh, Scooter's papers.
You know? So take the mic. Share the mic.
Oh, I don't want to be on camera. Aubrey's mom. She said Aubrey's mom, she said that we're there to go in the river, even though me and Winley were both not there to go in the river. We were just there to support. We were just there to support and to say congratulations for graduating. And then
they took
it
you to
was
the river.
very cold.
Yeah.
It was so cold.
Was
It
it
was bad.
the river or the lake?
The lake, sorry.
Lake Natoma,
Folsom.
Or the
I thought that was a lake.
Folsom.
No, there was a river. Oh, that was you were on the river.
Folsom.
Gold River or something.
Not Folsom.
I have no idea where you were.
I think it's called Gold River.
Oh.
Gold. Is there a Gold River? That's where he was at.
One of those.
Cool. So it was cold and you wanted it again, huh?
Yes, it was
Yeah.
very cold. And we went paddleboarding.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, kind of. Aubrey trying to drown me every point that she could. Yeah.
I think it's great. These are things that create memories, create all the things going on in your future, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
gonna be the
important.
last time, so
It's not gonna be the last
Sure
time.
it's not.
No.
You when we went to Washington one time, you were like, I want to go into a canoe or
A canoe?
What was it? Kayak. You were like determined to go in the kayak. in
Oh, I still want to
Washington.
go in a kayak.
Paddleboard.
A
Paddle.
kayak. I'm inside of something. A paddleboard is just that thing that I sit on.
I've seen that.
Oh, the stand-up paddle.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I was thinking like the one with the little feet.
No.
Oh yeah,
That's a pedal. That was
And plus me.
you were in a paddle boat, right? A paddle,
board.
paddle
Stand-up
board.
one, Yeah,
Yeah.
That was a pedal
Yeah.
boat.
I got it.
But me, Ty, and Mariah did that. We
Mhm.
went somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got very tired.
Oh, in Tahoe.
Yeah.
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 Moriah
You
was
just kept
there
Going in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
because nobody has any endurance.
Nobody wanted to. They're like,
That's
"This is
true.
stupid."
Moriah was the only person that wanted to do it. Yeah, because she's a Pacific Northwest girl. That's what Pacific Northwest people do. California's just like, I'll just sit on the beach drinking Mai Tai. Service,
When
please.
somebody
Bring me a straw for my drink. Yeah, that's California.
Alex tried.
Yeah. Why is this sand so rocky?
I hate rocky sand.
Serious? That's what I'm saying. California. So I'm glad you went, dude. That was really actually cool, and I'm glad that you stayed. That was a big deal for you. And I don't know what that noise is. Are there mice in the wall? I hope so. Because nobody else is here. I was like, CJ? Oh, he's right there. So thanks, dude. Anything else you want to say about your day?
No.
Okay. And yeah,
That was it.
I'm just saying if you're gonna interrupt us during our live podcast, you're gonna be on the podcast.
It's true.
Those are the rules going forward. All right. As Sarah attempts to break the mic.
Why am I breaking it?
I don't know why.
It moved. I didn't
All right.
force it.
So thanks for the interlude with CJ's rundown of the day.
Yes.
So yeah, it was really nice. Back to where we were at. We were talking about my dad visiting.
Yes.
It was kind of nice to that CJ was trying to help him load his vehicle as he left, but that wasn't working out very well because I don't think my dad had his hearing aid in.
Correct.
So CJ was trying to say goodbye, trying to help him, and my dad just walked right by him.
Yeah, he had no
I was
idea
like-
what's going on.
Yeah, he knew what was going on
Yeah.
in his world.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, if I could turn my hearing off, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it be?
Turn mine off all the time.
Yeah, but like actually turn it off.
I ignore people all the time. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I've lived that for a long time, by the way.
So yes, that was dad number one visit.
Yes. What else came? What came right after that was
In Sipa.
Vegas trip.
Vegas.
Like nobody knows what Insipa. You say Insipa, the world does not know what you're talking about.
That's what it was called.
Okay.
It wasn't just a Vegas
It
trip.
was a Vegas trip to go to a conference for Sarah's type of work,
In Sipa.
and it's called Insipa, and it's an acronym because that's the kind of line of work she is in. Everything has an acronym.
Every industry has acronyms.
Not like yours. Yours are everything has one.
No.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you have so many acronyms.
Every industry has a bunch of acronyms.
Yeah, but you call it UW,
Yeah.
which is what?
Underwriter.
That makes no sense.
Why?
Because that's University of Washington.
No, that's UW.
I'm glad you at least know that. If somebody from California knows what UW is, that's awesome. I appreciate you. That's actually pretty cool. No, yeah, we went there. And how'd that go?
It was fantastic. It's probably one of the best conferences I've been in a while. And I feel like my networking skills, they're not doing like this. They're like doing like this. Like it's like a very incremental.
Yeah, they went up and down, up and down, up and down, but it was progressive.
Yes. Good. Yes. I'm doing my best. I'm not well at it. I'm not good at
Oh no, you are good at it, especially when you make the person that you're sitting with feel like they're the only person in the room.
Oh, that's good.
That's fact. But the one downfall, I wouldn't say the problem, but the downfall you have is like you don't acknowledge anybody else.
Right. That is the issue.
You can't even take a short second to say something else. You just ignore them. Yeah. And I'm like, I mean, that's not a bad thing.
I'm learning.
It's just when you're at a conference, there's like 37 people you need to say hi to. So
the issue is I only get to practice once a year.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to get better.
Deflect. I did help deflect a little bit.
Yeah. So it's good to end up going with me because my sister didn't have her ID. Her real ID.
Let's talk about that. Real ID, people. That's been coming since 2006. Yeah. You've had 19 years.
And she didn't have a passport. So she was like, and we're in a place right now with our business. It's really hard for both of us to be gone at the same time. Mm-hmm. There's just like, we don't really have a manager.
I wouldn't say gone, but both of you to be unavailable. Because you can answer phone calls as well as stuff.
Yeah. But to be
wherever in the world, as long as you have
unavailable is rough. Yeah. For like hours on end.
So I just feel like if you both went, I think you could have gone on and off.
Yeah.
You know, like you go for a little bit, the other person goes. I mean, it can go.
Yeah.
But
no, usually when Becca goes, she doesn't hang out the whole time anyways. She's like, I will show up for that one and that one.
Well, yeah, because realistically, most of this information you can find if you want to find it.
Yes. It's really more about the discussions that happen versus the information that's fed.
True. I agree with that 1,000%. So it was very enlightening for me. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed some of the people I got to meet. Gentleman named Eric's, really liked him.
Yeah.
Ashika, I really liked her.
Yeah.
Still do. It's not past it. Really like her. I really like Eric's. Pam was amazing.
Yeah.
There's a new, what was her? I mean, Armin.
Mm-hmm.
She was super cool. I mean, there's a little bracelet that I got from her, like this little thing. It was very, very sweet, like a real one. Like this is real. These aren't like plastic beads. No. These are stone.
So it was like the first time we've ever met Armin, and she walked up to me and she said, "What's your favorite color?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Green." And she's like, "That's the energy I was feeling from you. I'm gonna give you a green one." I said, "Okay."
So I gave her a green bracelet, and she's like, "Do you want one too?" And I go, "Well, yeah, I love trinkets and things, and especially if they have a meaning behind them. Yeah. Thank you."
And then they did. And she's like, "So this is what this one means. And it has a little bit of this kind of thing in the rock. And here's what that means." And I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yes. And yes, Armin is Armenian.
Yes.
And stereotypically from LA. So, that was really, really fun. That was very, very nice to see somebody that was another minority per se in that setting.
Yeah.
It was very, very nice. And especially like she's flourishing and her son is an auditor. And yeah, you want to talk about nerdy stuff. This is not geek stuff. This is straight up nerd.
Yeah.
There's no geeks in the room. Well, there might be geeks in the room, but this is a nerd convention.
It is a nerd convention.
I mean, super nerd.
Yeah.
Very brilliant people in the house. Yeah, for sure. So that was very fun. We did a lot of stuff. We went to Old Red.
We did go to Old Red. We went with Miranda.
Hung out with a lady named Miranda.
Yeah.
She's a hoot.
She is a hoot. She's hilarious.
Very fun. Music wasn't that great, but they have music every night. So it was like, it's the only place that had music every night that was like live good music, not like a Vegas performance.
Yeah.
We had some good off the strip food.
We did. We're back to Fremont Street.
Yep. Off the strip events. There was live music going on up there.
Yep.
A lot of half naked females and males.
Yeah.
A
lot of old ladies taking pictures with both.
With both. Yeah. A lot of old, like groups of old ladies going up to half naked men, and then you'd see them going up to half naked women doing the same thing. And I was like, it was adorable.
Yeah.
Like no reservations.
Oh.
Yeah.
My grandma My grandma.
Yeah, it was groups of them, and I
Yeah.
think that even some of their husbands, I think, were taking the pictures.
Yeah.
It was super adorable.
It was fun.
Yeah, it did remind me of your grandma.
Keith said, "Was the dancing gorilla there?" Yep.
Yes. And there was a few of them. There was like, I think there was like 2 or 3
No,
actually.
It was just the one. He just kept moving.
on Fremont.
Yeah.
But there was another one, I think, on the Strip.
Oh, I didn't see the dancing gorilla.
Yeah, but people were like, "Do not touch me."
Yeah.
There was a couple people was like, "No."
Yeah.
Because it's big.
It's massive.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure it's a very light suit, but yeah,
Yeah.
the gorilla was there. Had some good times. Had some good walks, good conversations,
Yes.
good real conversations with people. I think that was kind of my biggest thing. Yeah. Next. What's your next?
I'm out of order now, so I don't know what we did after that.
Well, I mean,
yes, I do.
let's go. We just talked about CJ.
Yeah.
Just came in. He just went to a graduation party.
Did.
A graduate from this year that goes to school with him because he graduated too.
He did. He graduated yesterday. Yay.
So let's talk about a good thing.
That is a good thing because we were stressed.
Yeah, and all his grades are in.
And they're
and
passable.
He graduated. And it was
That's
so.
what's important.
Yes. No, it just really is. I feel like there's certain people that's just not their vibe.
Yeah.
Not their thing. And that's totally fine. But yeah, he did great. I mean, I wouldn't say great. He did way better than he has done in 4 years.
Yeah.
In this last semester.
Yeah.
Even the semester before that, he did a lot better.
Yeah, senior year he did.
Senior year,
was his best
he
year.
didn't check in, but he didn't check out.
Yeah.
100%. He
Yeah.
knew he was figuring out how to bounce back
Mm-hmm.
quicker this year. So
Yeah.
that was kind of nice.
Yeah, he did graduate yesterday.
Yes.
Last of the Mohicans.
What else you got?
Dad came to visit.
Your dad came to visit.
Yep.
He drove up just to go to CJ's
Yes.
graduation. Come on, dude.
He
That's what's
said
up.
he was trying his best to he wanted to show up for more things for the grandkids and the kids.
That's what's
I
up.
said, "Thanks, Dad."
He went and visited your sister.
Mm-hmm.
Super awesome. He's a hoot. He's very funny. Very emotional. Some of the things that he said, but it was so awesome to see him and Olga there,
Yeah.
laughing and chatting with each other and goofing off a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they hit up the casino while they were here, doing their stuff.
Yeah.
They stayed really close to the venue.
Yes.
So big good thing was them coming up to visit.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most important things. That's what our big mantra, right? Is
Yeah.
trying to show up for people.
And they're so sweet because they want to pay for dinner. And when we left, Olga was like, we were gonna pay for dinner, and I was like, just take CJ's couple weeks in the summer, same thing.
It's gonna cost you
Same
way.
cost.
It's gonna be more. No, but seriously, I feel like we could have CJ. I mean, as we have multiple, then we'll get to that too.
Yeah.
It's like get him down there for a couple weeks, maybe this summer.
Yeah.
Just go down there, and he's close to Mariah while
Right.
she's down there.
Yeah.
So they can visit each other and
Yep.
visit Mariah more often. Have Mariah visit Grandpa more often.
Exactly.
I think it's great.
He can do he can do some days at Deborah and Uncle Brett's, couple days
Yeah.
at Dad's.
I think it's important.
Perfect. And then I only have one more.
I think I have like 2.
Okay.
Oh, do you want me one?
Yeah.
We did get an additional car.
Okay, that's my last one.
Oh.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
So again, if you don't know, I'm a huge listen to the universe person. I say, universe, here's all the things I need to make the decision that I need to make. It has to have these things. That's how I got Scooter. I said, listen, universe, I'm never getting married again unless the person has these things. And then they gave me Scooter, and I said, are you sure? And they said, yes. I said, okay. So we needed another car. I didn't want to buy a brand new one. I wanted something that had kind of low miles, but not like super old. And you could plug your phone in, so it has a Bluetooth. So, because I feel like when you have teenage drivers, they should be able to plug their phone in. And we wanted under a certain price. And so I had done research. I had been Googling. I chat GBT'd it. Did all the things. So we found one up in Folsom, and we drove a couple of cars. And
2.
And we liked the first one. And it's a little Hyundai Elantra GT.
Little GT.
and it's cute and it's exactly what we wanted. And I said, how do you say no when the universe says, here's all the things you asked for?
Yeah, because we did say we want something that's what you said, 2017 or newer.
Yep.
Low miles.
Yep.
Which is the miles that you want, and we want to keep a payment under a certain amount.
Yeah.
And when they came back, we're just like, hey, tell us what the payment's going
And
to be.
nothing down.
Yeah, and 0 down.
Yeah.
So they walked over, they gave her the sheet, and I go, that's exactly what we asked for, and they gave it to us right off the bat. So I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
End up being even $100 less per month.
Yep.
Which was awesome. So yeah, it worked out really, really, really well.
Yeah.
And I drove it for the last week. Good little car. Has the zip, has all the connections you need, has all the basics that we require for our kids to have.
Yeah.
You know, Sirius XM. Right?
You only program
you
your
TikTok.
one. You only program your channel.
Why would I program anybody else's channel?
Mine.
Then you program it when you're in it.
Oh,
I don't understand.
no romance left.
Oh, don't.
Won't even program my Sirius XM channel.
Wow. Let's talk about how Ashika was in awe of the man that you're with.
She was confused.
Yeah, she was confused. He does what? He does that and that? What is happening? Yeah, but I don't. What the one thing I don't do?
Doesn't program my freaking radio.
Loser.
Jeez.
What a loser.
I got in the car and I was like, what? I don't have a channel. Plug my phone in.
You probably when you're traveling, you probably stand by your car door and go, who's here going to open it for
How
me?
come no one's opening my car door for
Nobody's
me?
opening my car door.
The trunk's not opening. What's happening?
What is happening? So no, I think that was really the universe just saying, hey, you asked for a car.
Yes.
You waited. You were patient. You did the right thing. And we went in there and it was there. I mean, it did like every car, even that quick of a transaction, like we found the car quick, did it, and then the financing, all that stuff, still was 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Which I think is like so weird
I know.
in this day and age. So weird that it takes 2.5 hours still to buy a car.
When we paid cash, it didn't take that long.
It still took about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had to go get had to verify that was a real fund. They had to get all the paperwork and get the plates.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's not going to bring them cash. Just like here.
Cash is harder.
Just count it.
You can't even do cash.
Just kidding.
That's what I was like. I think that's so
Yeah.
strange in this day and age. It's like you can't just buy something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much the last one?
Did I do everything? Oh, my last two. Mariah is visiting. So she's in the house again, even though she doesn't like the way that we decorated that room. She had to pull a big desk in there.
She's like, this is how I always wanted my room to be.
Then why didn't you? I mean, she had the same bed. She had all the.
No.
Yeah.
She didn't get the king bed until she was moving.
Okay.
She always wanted a king bed. That's just how she's like, this is the way I wanted it.
Except for no TV.
She had too much stuff. There's no way that room could ever look like that.
No, ever.
She's the queen of. You and her are the queen of stuff.
I'm not I have separate rooms for my stuff.
Right.
So Mariah is visiting, so that's been fun, very, very nice. And was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. PAX West. PAX West. That's why I'm wearing my PAX 2024 shirt.
I would wear mine. My 2023.
Whatever you got.
Yeah.
PAX West tickets have gone on sale. That's a 4-day convention in Seattle, Washington, which we are going to.
That's our anniversary trip.
Okay. What is wrong with you? It's too much. You know how you're with somebody that everything has to have like dual reasons to do something, and I was like, or you can't have this because you had that.
I'm not always that way.
Sometimes. I mean, you can be like that. I was like,
I agree.
Sorry, that's what
not always.
We already did that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but can't we do both? Nope.
No.
So we can't have an anniversary. So we're
not
not
gonna
be married 10 years this year because we're going to PAX.
Not what I said.
Nah, that's what you said.
No, I didn't. I said that's our anniversary trip.
Yeah, there you go.
What is that?
So yeah, we're gonna go up there. I think Lucy's going to meet us there for at least a day or so. I think Ariel and Bailey might be coming with their spouses. It's gonna be fun.
Nice.
I'm hoping more people in our realm will go, because even from Sacramento, it's an hour and 40-minute flight at most.
Yeah.
End
of August.
End of August. So if you're not going, you're missing out.
If you want to go, end of August.
Let's go. So PAX West, if you don't know what that is, Penny Arcade. That's where it started, was Seattle. So yeah, that was my last one.
Okay. You want to push the button?
Getting it.
Rant of the week.
Rant of the week.
I think I only have 2.
We just need to start picking one. For some reason, all these were supposed to be like one.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, I followed your lead by just filling up the box with 17 things. So I just put one.
But I talk faster than you, so mine really is like one of your ones.
Not if you don't
Number 1.
actually talk about it.
I like our dentist, but the front desk person has changed. And since they've changed, it's like they renegotiate everything that happens after it's happened. So there was one time I went to the dentist. They said, here's how much it's going to be. I said, cool. Here's hundreds of dollars. And then I leave and they call me and they say, we were wrong. It's actually going to be another $200. And I'm like, I wouldn't have got it yet if I knew it was going to be another $200. So just in spite, I waited forever to pay it because I was like, nah, I'm pissed off now. You're charging me extra for something we had in writing that said this is how much it's supposed to cost. So
and after the service is done,
right?
You was like, oh, I'm just kidding. It was this much. It was like,
yes,
you can't do that to a person.
That's insane.
You cannot do that to a person.
It's not like it's like $5. It's
and it's not like you can't return it.
Right. It's done.
The service has been done.
Yes.
It's just BS.
So I went the other day because the one time I was on here, I was massaging my gums. And so I went for that. And they're like, you're going to need a night guard and get a custom one because the one you have right now is just like a basic one. And so I was like, okay, fine. And so they said, here's your price. It's going to be $102 or something. I said, okay, sounds good. Schedule my appointment for next Wednesday. So I leave. The lady calls me after I get home and she's like, we were wrong. It's actually going to be $350. I was like,
well, then you eat the $250.
I was like, well, then never mind.
You literally said, we were wrong.
Right.
You're wrong.
I was like, never mind then.
That's your fault.
And she's like, well, it's because you switched insurance and your old insurance covered this much.
No,
I was
it's because you screwed up.
But this is the number you told me.
If you would have quoted me $350 at the beginning,
right.
I would go, oh, let me think about that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But you quote me $100 and I say yes, and they go, just kidding.
Yeah.
It's $350.
Right. I'm like,
and it's because of you. I was like, no, you didn't look it up right.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yes. So it just bugs me. That's my rant. I'm just like, just stop telling me numbers if it's not the right number. Because now I'm annoyed and I don't want to go back because you keep telling me the wrong numbers.
Nah, I'd be done.
I just like our dentist.
I love our dentist, and I even like their, what are the other people? The
dental hygienists.
The hygienists are always nice. Mm-hmm. They're always sweet and kind.
Yes.
And, you know.
But since the front desk changed, it's just not my thing. I miss Victor.
Yeah, I really do. I wish I don't know if I think we exchanged numbers at one point.
Because he always, there was never a question. It was like, here's how much it is.
Yeah, here's how much it is. And it was always that amount. And plus, when we got on there, we would have like real conversations.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't always about dental stuff.
Yeah.
And how much bills are.
Yes.
It was about
life and the kids.
Vacation. It was like, how are the kids going? Oh my gosh, they look so big. Are they in high school still?
How his partner's doing.
Yeah, it was like they got married.
Yeah.
Him and his husband. They was like, oh yeah, we took a vacation and went to this place down in wherever, and we'd talk about different places to visit, and it was like a real conversation.
Yes.
And now it's just like bills.
Yes.
Bills.
You
Get in,
more money.
pull some teeth out. Let's go.
Bye. I'm like, it's sad.
Yeah, I don't like it.
All right, go ahead.
Kind of icky. Okay, so for some reason, as I've been driving around and doing different things, there's, I don't know if it's me that's creating this issue, but it's impossible. But there's one car in front of me at a stoplight, at a traffic light, and it's red, and I'm right behind them. And as soon as it turns green, all other lanes leave, and the person in front is still there. So that's the beginning of the issue. Then for some reason, we've been there for a good 5 seconds, which is a long time.
Yeah.
Right? The next light's coming.
Right.
And then they look up, speed real fast to try and make up for it,
Yeah.
which guess what? That doesn't fix it.
Right.
Like you can go as fast as you want. We still lost 5 seconds
Yeah.
and we're going to miss the next light.
Yes.
Because of you.
Right.
But that's happened to me at least a half a dozen times within the last like 2 weeks.
That's a lot.
I'm like, I don't know if summer is doing this to people. Are people blowing their nose because they have sinus infections like I do? I don't know. No, it's happened to me a lot.
Yeah.
It happened to me. Was it yesterday? I think even yesterday it happened. I was like, why? Speeding off is not fixing anything. We still sat there. You're not fixing anything. So people, get off your phone. Stop checking your Facebook. Stop checking your TikTok.
Yeah.
Stop scrolling. Stop doing your makeup. Just if
be
you're
aware.
do your makeup on a green light. I don't care. But I'm just saying, not on a red light. Because no.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I agree.
It's happened to me at least 6 times in the last like 2 to 3 weeks.
That is high.
That's insane.
Yeah.
3 of them were in Elk Grove. I think you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, was it 3 of them? 2 or 3 were in Elk Grove in one trip. And there was nobody else there. Like there wasn't even cars that went. There was like a line of 1 cars.
Yeah.
Everybody went. I was like, I obviously got behind the dummy. Yeah. So
My last rant.
speeding up does not fix it.
Go when it's your turn. I feel this way very passionately. So yesterday at graduation, I find it extremely rude, and it's mostly adults, when someone's trying to give their speech at graduation and people don't care. So then they just start having conversations amongst themselves. Or they're like, get on their phone. Like the lady in front of us was on her phone with the volume up, watching like Instagram
TikTok.
reels. Oh, was it TikTok?
Well, I think it was.
Whatever it was. I was like, dude,
That was insane.
we're out of graduation.
That was insane.
Why? First off, put your headphones in if you want to listen to something. Do whatever you want. I don't care. But the volume's up while they're announcing things at our kids' graduation. We're trying to pay attention to see what's going on. Kids are giving speeches. Principals are giving speeches. And you're like, I don't care. Let me just have conversations. And I'm like, how loud it got in that room for people just having side conversations was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to be like, you are the most, the little quiet coyote. You're the most disrespectful people. And this is why there's disrespectful children, because you guys don't know how to behave.
That's why our climate is, why we have
Gosh.
such an aggressive, I really, truly believe that's why we have such an aggressive climate in our public schools.
So bad.
Because nobody's being held accountable.
Yeah.
Like none of the parents are getting held accountable.
Right.
They don't hold their kids accountable for anything. I
Yeah.
mean, the amount of kids that we know right now that graduated that are driving cars without a license is insane.
Happens every year too.
It's
Like,
insane.
we know kids every year that are
So
like,
just know when you're out on the road
yeah.
and you see a teenage driver, I'd say 1 out of 5 doesn't have a license. And they're not doing it they're doing it with permission
Yeah.
from their parent. That's our school right now. Like, it's insane. That was like, oh, we tell our kids, like, do not get in that car.
Yeah.
Don't get in that car. Because nothing good is going to come out of that.
Yeah, anything happens, insurance isn't covering that.
Nothing.
It's an unlicensed driver.
So if you get hurt,
Yeah.
you're done.
Right.
We're done.
But yeah, the parents at graduation, I just want to be like, I need you guys to shut up. This is insane. Now, granted, I don't care what they're saying either, but that's not the point. We're not here to be disrespectful and show our kids how disrespectful people are.
Whisper to each other. Like we whispered back and
Yes.
forth multiple times.
Yes. But
but
the full-blown conversations
the
out
full-blown,
loud.
while you're having the out loud conversation, you're yelling across aisles.
Yes.
While you're on TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah, it was something.
It
but
was insane.
that's the parents in
I
our
know.
school system
I
right now.
know.
I mean, that's our climate, and I don't understand it.
Same. That's my last rant. Those are my twos.
That's all I had was just
All right.
the speeding up does not fix it. It says speeding up fixes nothing.
Let's
All right.
what's up this B.
What?
We don't have a button.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right. What's up in your area? This is Sarah's segment. We're trying to find something, maybe fill it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just as a precursor, we're trying to like what's up in your area. By time this comes out, or by time people not comes out, but by time people listen to this, it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
So it's kind of going,
That's the
hey,
point.
what happened? Because we have more people watch this after the live. So we're looking at something to fill in for a different segment. If you think there's a better segment to put in here,
If there's something you want my opinion on, let me know, and I will make it like a weekly thing. I'll give my opinion of
this is going to be Sarah's segment,
Yeah.
and we don't know what it's going to be called yet.
Because I forgot my rant about the other doctor, but I will save it for later.
Okay.
Anyways, it's Memorial Day weekend, so I feel like people like to go do outdoorsy things over this weekend.
CJ jumped in a river.
CJ jumps in a river. His friend's going to Tahoe. Jeremy. That's what he told
nice.
me. But the A's and Phillies are playing tonight in Sacramento.
Who?
The A's versus the Phillies.
Who?
Exhibit is at the concert tonight in the park.
Yeah, we have free concerts in the park tonight, and it's one of those things of that would have been cool to see.
I feel like I would have postponed the show if I would have known that he was going to be in.
And we've been gone 3 weeks.
I know.
But concerts in the park are hard, so we're gonna get to that.
Yes.
Also, because we're gonna talk about maybe that's a what's up in our area.
Yeah.
We are gonna consider some changes to a little bit to our format, but a little bit to our scheduling too.
Yes. Cap City Jazz Festival is also in Sacramento. Really focus on Sacramento and Seattle this time. And the last thing in Seattle is the International Film Festival.
Oh, really?
How cool would that be?
Well, it would be cool.
Yeah. They had the awards in Santa Barbara, like
really
last month. Remember I told you Zoe Saldana was there. Her name was on the big billboard.
No.
Oh, that's cool. Keith said, my family who are Phillies fans are at the ball game tonight. Literally, I feel like I'm just a fan of Philadelphia at this point. I might have to become a 76ers fan.
I don't know why.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
It's like when I was drawn to Atlanta, I always thought I could have lived in Atlanta.
Right now, I am drawn towards Vegas Raiders.
It's because the coach.
Yes.
Yeah. He's about to give up on his Seahawks and become a Raiders fan.
No. I think I've grown out of being a Broncos fan.
Yeah.
I matured as a Seattle Seahawks fan.
Okay.
And now I'm moving forward in life
As a Raiders
fan in addition.
But what happens if he leaves? What if Carroll's only there for like a season?
Well, then we'll figure that out. I mean, why would you do that? It was like, what if we're only dating for a year? What if we're only married for a year? You don't think about that when you're married, when you're getting married.
Some people do. It's what a prenup is.
Prenup, yeah.
All right. That's all I had for what's up in our areas.
All right. That's it then?
Yeah.
Oh, no potty break.
Shout out! Woo!
All right. I have one.
Okay.
How many you got? Like 8?
4.
Okay.
Well, 3.
That's what I figured.
I have 3.
So every segment is basically Sarah's.
I'll go first.
Okay.
So I'm shouting out our little tripod that we have in our house right now. We were going through an emotional roller coaster, and it was about to be at the point where it was going to be too much. And we sat down as a tripod, and we said,
The tripod is who?
Me, you, CJ.
Yeah.
And said, let's discuss what's going down. Let's discuss why you're pissed off. Let's discuss why you're pissed off. Let's discuss what it's looking like right now. And let's not get to the point where we stop talking to each other, because we will get there if we don't take the moment right now to talk about this.
Because we are one.
It will be bad. And so we did, and it worked out well. And I was like, look at that. Look at us having like adult conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Look at therapy working.
Well, I really felt like it was difficult, though, but I did see the more we talked, and we talked gently, CJ responded less aggro.
Yes.
It took a while.
Yes.
But after a while, he was like,
the walls can come down.
I'm in a safe space.
Yes.
He kept going, and he was like, and he didn't admit to being grumpy.
No.
But you could see like the weight of being grumpy lifting from him.
Yes.
It
was
from
awesome.
His face. You could see it from his face.
Yes.
And at the end, like him and I were just chatting about stuff.
Yes.
Nothing, just back and forth, just chatting. And I was like, okay, then now I think we've gotten to the point.
Yes. We're growing in this family is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
And that's one of those
And
things.
it took
Like,
us a long time.
and I also think, well, yeah, but I was like the shout out on that end is, I think, and I think that I've said this before, but when every kid gets a even if they have the same parental unit growing up, every kid gets a different set of parents.
Yes.
Meaning your parents are growing too. You know, they're trying to work stuff and they go through seasons. And so your second kid might have got a bad season.
Right.
You know, your third kid might have got a really bad season.
Yeah.
Your first kid might have got the best season. It just changes. Everybody goes through a season in life. So yes, just know that as you get older, I feel you have to realize, and if you don't, you need more therapy and you need to come to a realization that your parents are human beings. They're trying their best, even though sometimes they give up.
Yeah.
Because they tried their best and they failed and they're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
But that, so yes, I just feel like there's coming to a realization that I feel like some of our kids are realizing that we're just human beings.
Yeah.
And we made a ton of mistakes along the way, but we made a lot of leaps and bounds and positive things along the way.
Yes.
And you have to balance those out and go, that's what I learned from.
Yep.
So
agreed.
It was a really good conversation.
I agree.
It was easier than some of our ones in the past.
Yes. My second my second
Shubo.
shout out is Coopros.
Oh, that was mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Keegan Curry. This gentleman named Keegan Curry. So there was no place to basically make reservations for a Thursday night downtown. For some reason, it's hard to get a reservation downtown or midtown.
At 9.
It's because of that. Because either they don't take reservations, or they
Yeah.
don't take reservations on Thursdays, or everybody stops serving food or closes at 9. So I called in a favor. It's a gentleman I honestly looked at my text thread. I think it's 6 years the last time I talked to this gentleman. And we became friends. But he's the owner of Coopros. And he responded within the hour. Scooter, yeah, we can make that happen. I was almost a little teary-eyed. I was like, even though I haven't talked to you in like 6 years, I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't say it. I didn't go that far, but he made sure that we had space set aside. Yep. We got there, and then big shout out, not just the whole Cooper's experience.
Yeah.
So the Cooper's experience, I have to say, 2 people really made that whole thing pop off. Keegan Curry and then Rebecca Bell just made sure that it happened.
Yeah.
She left basically right after all the kids were announced during graduation, went over there and sat at the table, ordered
apps,
a bunch of apps. She even made sure that we had all the orders put in, those types of things. So it was just the teamwork between, even though Keegan and Rebecca don't know each other, they were working as a team in favor of CJ and the graduation dinner.
Yeah.
So huge shout out to them.
And then, so I'm going to add to mine. So also to everybody who showed up for CJ's graduation.
Oh, for sure.
So Dad, Olga, Lisi, Ben, Mariah,
We had
Becca,
9
Orville.
people.
And then us, not shout out us because we're going to go. But shout out to them for showing up for his graduation. We invited people and we know people can't go because, again, it's on Thursday and life is life. So I'm very thankful to people who could go. Thankful for everybody who watched and was sending me messages, and Valerie was sending me pictures.
Oh yeah, because they did a live.
Yeah,
you said watched.
Sorry,
they had a live stream.
Yeah,
they had a live stream, and you got a couple of screenshots of people watching from Fresno.
Yeah.
And, so that was very nice. I think even your uncle was watching.
My dad sent to my Uncle Philip, my aunt Deborah, Uncle Britt, my cousin Nietzsche and Scott were watching. Uncle Paul was watching. Yeah.
So there was a lot of people in support of. I mean, because
Mama Garcia was watching.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we're all hopeful. How do I say it? Like our older kids, like Elise and Mariah, we always know they're gonna get something done, and it just took. CJ's had a little bit, just needed a little bit more.
Yeah.
And the people just showed up.
Yeah.
You know, and they're showing up for him and loving him through it, and kind of, you know, in that spirit of, hey, it takes a village.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
and so that was really, really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that whole experience was really, really cool.
All right, my last shout out is to me. So in Vegas,
Oh Lord.
I sat on a panel.
My hero, I watched my hero, no joke, be a straight up G on a panel of 4 people, and it was like all eyes on her. I mean, she did so well, and the things that she said. There was a person that's kind of in her industry, kind of like their nemesis in a sense.
Yeah.
Like it's the opposite side. Like, why do we need to use you? And you're like, well, we don't need you.
Right.
You know, kind of that's the vibe of the conference. That's not everybody. I was just saying that's the kind of their situation of where they come from, and not these 2 people by any means, but structurally, that's kind of how it is. And he literally, like, after you talked, he like asked if he could have the mic from you.
Yeah.
Then just set it down and gave you a hug.
They did.
And I'm like, that was the coolest thing, because he was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
But still, it was such a cool experience as a fanboy of my wife. It was awesome. I have the videos of it, but it's not for public to see. But it's for auditors and that kind of stuff to see. But yeah, I was fanboying, so I videotaped it. So go ahead.
Yeah. So they asked us to be on a panel, or me, B&H, me and my sister's company, and Rebecca was like, "You got this, right?" And I was like, "I don't want to talk in front of people," because in our industry we're very young. Our company's young. We're young in comparison to most people around us. It's just we're young. So when they asked, I was like,
"Yeah, not okay." In the whole industry, the way it is, they're young, they're female, and they're black.
Yes.
Which are 3 things that is way not the normal.
Yes.
So all 3 of those things are them.
Yeah. So I didn't want to go on the panel initially because I was like, I don't feel like I should be there because I don't have enough information.
Called imposter syndrome.
To be on part of the panel. So everybody had a question, so she asked our questions, and we get to the end of it, and she's like, "Okay, guys, this is the time to ask any questions you want." And I was like, "You said we're just answering the questions
These
on this
2 questions,
paper."
and then but they answered them so well and so quickly. We're just gonna open up for a Q&A.
Yeah.
And realistically, nobody saw the panic on your face.
Oh, that's good.
I did, because I know what her panic face looks like. Her panic face it looks like a focused face.
Yeah.
Just kind of like she'll lean forward. Okay.
Okay.
She's doing this. And I'm going, oh crap. Like this would put me into a spin.
I was like, what do you mean?
No, it was beautiful.
Yeah. It was a very good experience. It made me feel like I'm sitting next to a vendor who's been around for a really long time. Not the person, but the company she works for has.
Right.
So even when I'm answering and she's like, "No, I completely agree with what Sarah says," and I'm like, "Yes, thank you." That was like my biggest fear of her being like, "We don't do that at all. We do something completely different." But to feel like we're on the same page of what's going on, it felt really good. And Rebecca said in the chat, "We've seen a Q&A go sideways real fast." I was like, yes, that was my concern. Because we've been at conferences where we're just like, holy moly.
Well, you missed one of those meetings, I think.
I
One of
did.
those, like there was something
There was a
that went off.
contentious one
Yeah.
at the managers.
They talked about it. It was a murmuring.
They're like, "We're not going to do what happened yesterday." And I was like,
And we're like, what happened yesterday? It's
like,
like, there's got to be a video of it somewhere.
I know.
So I really, the imposter syndrome that you and your sister have is uncanny to me, because I did have a conversation over drinks, obviously, last night of understanding, like, your and Rebecca's value. I mean, you put a dollar amount of what your company is valued at, and there's so many people in your industry that can't even say that.
Yeah.
That they don't have the value that and I said dollars amounts last night. I think I misquoted, put weird. Yeah, I was a few shots in and stuff. But I was just like, these human beings are doing things that everybody can do. But these two humans are willing to step off the ledge and see what happens.
Yeah.
And being humble enough to know that they don't know something.
Right. And
that's what's making you guys so much more valuable than almost anybody out there that I talk to.
Yeah.
I've only gone to what, 2-3 of these?
I think 2.
2? Yeah, but talking to these, I was like, some people come off so arrogant.
I know.
And I'm like, but you don't know everything. And as soon as you can realize that you don't know everything, that means you're going to know more every single day.
Yeah.
And I feel like you guys have this imposter syndrome, which is what you need in any industry to go, how did I get here?
Yeah.
And then you go, I don't know, but we're going to try and keep figuring it out.
Here we are.
And then next thing you know, you're here, and then you're here, and then you're here. And the value, and when people question your industry and what you guys are doing, and they're not people on your same level or higher, is insane to me. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, come to me when you have a company that you run that has even close to the same value. And we're talking humanity value, just number value, profitability value. Come to me when you're at least 75% of that. Then I will listen to your opinion. But until then, I'm going to keep listening to myself and my gut.
Yeah.
Because you have nothing to give me at this point. So
the what ifs.
Yeah, that was kind of I think that was the gist of the conversation with Rebecca last night. I was like, you guys have saw like the highest insurmountable mountain and go, all right, let's take our first step.
Let's see how this goes, man.
And then you're like, let's take our second step. And you guys are like, you're never, and nobody ever gets to the top of this mountain, right? But you're like, all right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another one. That's another hurdle. All right, let's do it. Let's go.
That was a thing.
Well, that sucked. That didn't feel good.
That didn't work out.
That did not feel good. Wow, that cost us some money.
Yeah.
And good thing we make money, because otherwise we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
The things that are surrounding you guys, the values you guys have on integrity and life, and just giving a crap about other people is insane.
Yeah.
So.
And it was very cool at the end to have people like actually come up to me and ask questions, and I was like, okay.
Like there was
I know some things.
There was a lady in the back that just would not stop talking to me because she wanted to know more about you guys and the company that I was working for. And I'm like, and I was like, you need to talk to her. But Sarah already moved on to another thing. And I was like, all I can tell you is these guys are really awesome. No, I was a lot better than that. But yeah. So
shout out to myself. That's all I got.
Thanks. All right. Entertainment of the week.
We haven't been watching much. Do you want me to get a beer while you talk about entertainment?
Yeah, well, mine's only one. Only one thing. Here, okay, and I can.
Sorry, I took it off my stool. I took it off my footrest.
So I have to take a break so that I can take a break. What are we doing? Turn off the cameras while you struggle. Oh, look at you. You almost let us go to OnlyFans right there. Ooh, that was crazy. So entertainment of the week. Probably gonna lose quite a few of you, but they have. I like this thing that they're doing when it comes to new music being released. Like there's 3 or 4 different bands that kind of do this now. They're taking this like elusive, giving you hints on their website, wiping their social media and posting one thing and stuff like that. And I know that Sleep Token's big on that. Falling in Reverse is big on that. I Prevail popped on this kind of thing. They just lost one of their lead singers. He didn't pass away, but they separated from the band because he has like a very rare like throat condition. So he finally stepped away. But as soon as that, days after that, they did this cryptic message on their website. And then 2 days later, this super aggressive song, which is only 2 minutes long, came out. And it has nothing but they have two lead vocalists. One is like a singer and one is a singer screamer. So he doesn't sing. How do you say? He doesn't sing as pretty as the normal lead singer, but he can scream and yell. And this song came out with just 2 minutes of aggression, yelling, everything. So I Prevail. I can't remember what it's called. Violent Nature. It's by memory. Violent Nature is the song. Dang. And I'm so excited because we get to see I Prevail this year. We're going to the Summer of Loud.
We are.
Yes, we are.
July 2nd.
And we had a few shots one night. We were discussing stuff at the table, and we both bought concert tickets. Yeah. So
it wasn't a good idea.
It wasn't.
In hindsight.
Yeah, but we did it. At least that wasn't on Amazon.
Yeah. Just paying for.
Because that's worth. Yeah, paying for. Like, how many headphones do you need? One more. But no, that's been my kind of. Of course, I've been still listening to the Hello Heaven, Hello whatever.
Yeah.
That's been kind of my new 2025 theme song. Is my Youngblood for sure. The young artist out of the UK, but that guy. But I Prevail. I go that band. They just got bangers after bangers.
Jeez.
Like. Seriously, like their whole last album, like maybe 2 songs are above average. The rest of them, I'm like, yes, that's so good. Like, yeah, that's just how I feel about them.
Yeah.
Right now.
I've got nothing really. Trailers. That's all I've been doing. Watching trailers. No
Bad
new
Thoughts.
shows.
You didn't like that.
Didn't like that.
That was too much for you.
Are we watching MI5 over and over to get ready for the new one? Because
that came out today.
I know. We're going tomorrow. Just kidding. We have tickets that we already paid for.
What?
Because of that Regal Cinema thing that I'm in that monthly club.
Oh, we have tickets.
Probably have like 10 tickets at this point.
Oh, cool.
Because the kids don't use them anymore. Mariah used to always take my tickets.
Oh, we should go more.
Yeah, I know.
It's just, is it the one down, the nice one that we like?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should go.
Okay.
Not tomorrow.
Okay.
But in general. And
this is what we always say, and that's why we have so many tickets just chilling.
Let's turn that corner.
Okay. Oh yeah, you ready?
Advise me not.
All right, we're gonna get to this segment.
We're
gonna do a slanchava. We're gonna do a shot. Slanchava. But you had to almost bend in half.
Oh,
to
it's
do that.
because my legs up.
Yeah, I know.
On the chair.
Yeah, I think
It's probably good for my hip though to stretch.
I think I filled my body with alcohol last night.
You did.
Yes, I totally did. Thanks, Rebecca. Your fault.
I don't think.
But I missed that. I miss going out and having drinks with my Rebecca. Okay? Just saying.
I know.
Just saying.
You should schedule more things.
I know. So we titled this episode. First, we called it something else, but we want to talk about that. We talked about at the beginning here is like there's not a shift in our life, but we're turning it's not a corner, but kind of like a bend.
Yeah.
Right? Like you get to the end of a road, but the road keeps going.
Yeah.
But you have to turn with it. And it's still the same road, still named the same thing, all that stuff, but it curves to the right or the left. So we're calling this episode Empty-ish Nest.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Rebecca just said I'm still drunk.
Yeah, she commented they're still drunk. Okay.
Sorry. So the reason for this is
drunk of being awesome.
We have nobody left in elementary school or high school. Our kid's about to be 18.
Mm-hmm.
So we have no more there's no more parent meetings to go to. There's no more events and club things we have to
Right.
do. So, but he still lives here.
Right.
Right. And our kids are always allowed to move back in if they need to. So we're empty nesters in the sense that empty nester-ish
Empty-ish
Yeah.
nest.
is that they're
Birds.
here, but they don't need us like that anymore. And we don't need to be that kind of parent anymore. And realistically, we don't want to be. We don't want to be like, hey, what are you doing today? And what are you doing tomorrow? And what are you doing then? And then what's happening? And then what's happening? Because
It doesn't affect us so much.
right. We
What
just need
it-
to know, do you need the car or not?
Yeah, because we have 2 cars, but there's 3 of us, so it's like we got to work that out. But I feel like that's sometimes a roommate thing,
Right.
you know. I feel like very much so is like since we're empty-ish nesters, as of like today, it becomes less of a regimen of things that we need to do, and it's more of just guidance.
Yeah.
It's more like not a trust fall anymore. It's a trust lean.
Yeah.
It was like, we still got you, so go out with confidence.
Right.
Because we still got you if things go sour.
Yeah.
Before it was like, man, you keep falling down, we got to keep picking you up.
Yes.
And I feel like that's parenting from literally when they were toddlers. You got to pick them back up because they keep falling.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change. But I think as kids get like their late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, it's less picking them back up and you're going, here's a cushion.
Yeah.
You know, you're falling, not falling completely down anymore.
Yeah.
So it's more of a guidance thing.
But
so
also,
I agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know what to do for dinner. When Mariah, the
That's
girls
insane.
always knew what they wanted, and I knew what to make for the family. But you and CJ were just like, meat and vegetables? I don't care. Burger? Taco Bell? I don't know. And I was like, can you guys have some input?
We have
No.
input, but it's just him and me.
Yeah, because he doesn't want Taco Bell and freaking Hawaiian barbecue.
Yeah.
It's about for cooking food.
We know what we like.
So now he doesn't have to have dinner with us every night anymore. He can, obviously. But now we're at that point of like, now I really don't know what to do for dinner. Do I cook for 3? Do I cook for 2? Do I
Yeah.
not cook at all? Do we just eat salads all the time?
The other night he had dinner at 4 a.m.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what that means. I've been a parent I've been a parent who makes dinner all the time for so long that even
Yeah.
that part is
Over the
weird.
last 6 months, that's gone away.
Yes.
Definitely gone away. You and I mean, you don't make dinner for us.
No. Because what are we
Wow.
eating?
So the only reason you were making dinner for me is because of the kids?
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do like to cook. Don't get me wrong.
Wow.
But again,
No, the
you
Brussels
don't
sprouts and
care.
the steak the other day,
Yeah.
so bomb.
Meat and veggies. But that's what I'm saying. You're
So
never
bomb.
gonna come to be like, you know what sounds good? Can you make like a really good lasagna? Or can you make
Do
this
you want me to do more of that?
something?
I can.
Okay, that'd
I
be
totally
great.
will.
Because you're just like, here's some meat and veggies. No.
Yeah.
I'm tired
I
of
was
meat
like,
and
all
veggies.
right. I'm sorry, Wagyu, right? Maine lobsters.
He
No,
hates lobster.
I'm just kidding. No, I totally will. Because I feel like there are some things that we haven't had in a minute that I'm kind of not craving. We're gonna go, wow, that'd be really nice.
What?
Ceviche.
Oh yeah, that
I think
sounds
that'd be
really nice.
super fun.
Okay.
I think if you and I did and actually like we made spring rolls and stuff like that, just you and I
'Kay.
think that'd be super fun because these are things that we can kind of do together.
Ceviche and spring rolls. Okay.
Yeah, because I think ceviche we can make together. We can chop up stuff, put it in a thing. I'm just trying to think of stuff that we could cook together where you're not annoyed that somebody's in the kitchen.
That's a hard one for me.
No, all I'm doing is chopping stuff, right? For ceviche, I'm just chopping stuff.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like spring rolls and stuff, like just roll your own.
True.
Just like, when
Yeah.
you're getting high together, just roll your own, man. I don't want your lips and tongue all over my
Okay.
joint.
Side note: did you hear Rebecca trying to have that conversation with our kids
What?
yesterday? She's like, because the song came on, and she's like, "So doesn't the song remind you guys of like rolling a joint?" And they're like, "What?" And she's like, "Have you guys never rolled a joint?" And they're like, "Becca, what are you talking about?" And she's like, "Sarah, have you never rolled a joint?" I said, "No, Becca, I haven't."
That's why Rebecca and I are the same people.
She's like, "I don't know what you guys are talking about."
And also, it's like you always roll your own joint because you don't want somebody else licking your joint.
I
That's
don't
weird.
smoke anything, so I don't.
Because some people, like,
You
when they roll it,
understand
they
it.
put the whole thing in their mouth to wet it
That
and let it dry. And I'm
sounds
like,
disgusting.
you're gross, bro. Like, no. So that's why
Ew.
I went to pipes after that. I was
You
like,
said exactly.
I went to packing the pipes instead of the joint because people are they're licking something that I'm going to suck on.
That's gross.
I was like, do you know what that sounds like? It sounds like a threesome.
Ridiculous.
If you're licking something I'm going to suck on, that's a threesome.
Sorry, that threw me off. Can't remember what we
What are
were
we talking
about.
We're talking about empty-ish nesting.
Yes. Oh, we were talking about making dinner.
Yeah.
And I need dinner input.
So but these are our curves.
Yes.
These are things that we're going to go in here. We're also, I mean, when it comes to CJ doing what he's going to do and all this time thing, we're trying to support him. It's also a different level of accountability.
Yeah.
Right. There's like accountability of him getting up on time. That's not our,
Right.
It's going to be less and less of our job.
Yeah.
The accountability is like clean up after yourself, because that means you're a crappy roommate.
Yeah.
Going forward. So if the bathroom's not clean that everybody can use and you're in it, like, well, then I have a problem with you as a roommate, not as your dad, but as a roommate. I was like, nah, if I can't go in and use that restroom as a roommate, something's wrong.
Right.
Right. Not leaving food and stuff like that in your room.
Yeah.
That's pretty normal for a roommate. These have always been the rules that I've ever had with roommates.
Yeah.
I think I've had like 5 or 6 roommates throughout my life. So those types of things. So that's going to be less of a, hey, you're screwing up kind of thing. I was like, no, this is not our agreement.
Yeah.
And your breach of contract kind of thing. Also talking about us being able to party on school nights.
Right.
No, realistically, it was like, we can work. I mean, now we can probably work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then go Tuesday night. We're just going out to party.
Yeah.
Like take
Or
those.
just taking the day off.
Yeah,
Not
I was just
party,
like,
just take the day off.
you know what I mean? It was like we can take a Wednesday off
Right.
instead of always having to be a Saturday or a Sunday
Right.
off, because there's always something on a Monday
Yeah.
or something like that. So we're less constrained by the Monday through Friday thing.
Yeah.
Which means, I don't know if there's enough people in there. We are considering moving this podcast back to Thursday nights.
Yes.
We're considering it, still doing it, and I'd like to do it at 7, but if that's up to other people, like whoever, but Wednesday's not going to work. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's not going to work.
No.
But Thursday, I feel like we had a really good viewership on Thursdays because most people are home.
Yeah.
And there's not as many things in the park going on. There's not as many soccer games going on. There's not as much football games, like football and football. Football and football.
Until football season comes back.
No, I'm just saying, like, that just Fridays, a lot of things are going on for people,
I
so
agree.
they're out doing stuff. But Thursday nights, most people are home, so we can get some more interaction, because we do love the interaction. So we're considering getting it back to Thursdays.
Yes.
We can do Thursdays at 8. That's not a problem. It just messes with.
I like a 7.
I do too. 8 always messes with people that are not in our time zone.
Right.
Right. I mean, because
Now it's 11 p.m.
Yeah,
Ish.
it can be
Yeah.
it can be later. Some of the people, so we're considering that. And those are all things that we can do because we're empty-ish nesters.
Yes. Because I used to have a board meeting on Thursdays, and now I won't because
Yeah,
I'm
because
done.
there's no board to be on.
Well, I may have like one more meeting. I
We
think,
have
and
no
then-
more kid
No.
in.
Until somebody asks us to join a board, and then Scooter says yes, and then he's screwed.
You know, until somebody asks us to join a board and you go, you should do that. That's how we always get into these things.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
No.
Every time.
The only board I
You
said
should
you should
join
be on
this.
was the boosters.
That's not true. The
Yeah,
one at the elementary
Somebody
school.
else asked you.
Nah, you said you should probably do that. Yeah, somebody else asked me,
Yeah.
and you go, oh yeah, you should do that.
Yeah. Because they asked. It's rude to decline.
Oh, what are you?
But even so, I always think about like for traveling too, because as the kids have gotten older, we've taken less and less family vacations. I still want 1 to 2 big family vacations a year
Oh, but I think
that they're forced to go on.
yeah, now that we're in it, yeah, well, not forced,
Yes.
but not forced. You can't force an adult to
Yes, I
do.
can.
You know
It's
what that
called
is?
guilt.
It's called bondage,
Oh, there's a guilt.
slavery.
What? No, it's called guilt.
No, that's not forcing somebody.
Yeah.
No, guilt is not forcing anybody.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
I think it is.
No, guilt doesn't force anybody to do anything. Putting a gun to somebody's head is kind of forceful.
I will force my guilt.
So yeah, we are. I think we're committing to, for our kids and us, is like trying to find once a year. We could do it twice a year, but once a year that we foot the bill.
Correct.
The second time is like, here's what we're doing. If you could afford it, we'll help you get there, but we can't foot the whole bill.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. But once a year, because I think one of my favorite memories that I've had, along with going to Avila every year and those type of things, was the Disneyland trip.
Yeah. Where
literally all of my kids were there at the same time.
Yeah.
That was insane. And we're talking next level awesome. We're talking everyone was there. It's everybody.
Yeah. I want to do that again.
Everybody was talking to each other. Everybody was hanging out with each other in different, like, small, it wasn't all of us together at once, but like 2 people were here, 3 people were here, and then we mixed and matched.
Yeah.
And like, it was amazing to have Ariel, Bailey, Elise, Mariah, and CJ all kind of interacting in this same environment where they didn't have to be stuck in a room with each other, but they could do whatever they wanted, and they all cross paths.
Yeah.
Was insane and so awesome.
I want to do, not Disney maybe.
No, I'm just saying that was a great experience.
Yeah. I just rent a beach house at Avila. And
and there's like, hey, we only have like, if we're there for like 5 days, like we have 2 things scheduled.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
2 where everybody shows up.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Everybody just do your thing.
Yep. That is my dream as an empty-ish.
Bring your significant others.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one guest.
Some of them have kids.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm talking about the single, like the people that don't have kids.
Got it.
Like their significant other or a friend.
Yeah. Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah. Everybody gets their one. If you have kids, they're coming. It just comes with the package.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing I want to do. But it is that odd thing of, again, I normally get up. Okay, my body wakes up anyways. I try really hard to sleep in. Doesn't always work. But I have my alarm set for 7:30, even if I'm not taking CJ to school, to make sure he's up to get ready to go to school. I'm like, I have to do that. It's not a thing. I didn't have to before. But it's not a thing anymore either. Why'd you buzz me?
You still didn't have to get up.
I said that. But again, like I've said before,
I'm ready to push it again.
You can do whatever you want. This was how I felt I wanted to be a mom.
Oh, okay.
So that to me was part of what I wanted it to look like.
No.
I wanted to see him in the mornings. I wanted to be like, either I'm taking you to school, I want to see you off. Even if you're pissed off at me, I still want to see you in the mornings.
I was reflecting on that. I was reflecting on seasons of me being a dad with our 3 kids. I was a crappier parent to Mariah than the other 2.
How so?
Because when she was kind of in that moment of transitioning and not transition, can't say that anymore, but like becoming an adult, transitioning into an adult, having friends and all that kind of stuff. That's when my depression was at its peak. So I was a lot more aggressive during that moment, that pivotal moment in her life than the other 2. I was present for Elise.
Yeah.
I drove her to school so many days. I was at her school all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And then Mariah was like, I sucked into myself, and then CJ was like, I homeschooled him for 3 years. This last year, I've really tried to show back up for his senior year.
Yeah.
But when Mariah was entering her senior year, I was in my, dark era, whatever. So I feel like I was the crappier parent out of the 3. That was the one that I missed out on probably the most.
Yeah.
I showed up because her friends were fun to hang out with, but that was the only one of the, I feel like that was my driving force to show up. Was her friends are cool. And like, that's awful.
Yeah.
Like your kid is cool. Like
she is cool.
I know, but they're all cool.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, You don't show up to your kid's thing because her friends are cool.
Yeah.
That's a dick move. But I feel like I was a crappier parent in hindsight to her than anybody.
Mm.
That's my thought.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my perspective. But everybody's gonna think
Right.
I was good or bad or
Yeah.
whatever. Just my empty-ish nest.
Well, things gonna change.
I don't think anything's. Things have already progressively changed.
Yeah.
It's not like all of a sudden the switch turns on or off or left or right or whatever. It's like it's already been changing for like 6 months to a year.
So you've just been ignoring us for a good amount of time to get us to this point where we're like, because we like each other most days. Like, there's only a certain amount of times where I'm like, you're annoying me, and I'm like, you're annoying me, and then we take a break for like a couple hours, and we're like, you want to watch some TV? Yeah.
I was like, I miss you too.
Let's watch something.
That's kind of what I was like. I don't think we've ever taken a break more than probably 6-7 hours.
While we're awake.
No, I think that I was saying 6-7 hours is.
I thought it was just kind of like sleeping time.
That's what I was counting.
Oh, you can't count sleeping time. I mean
Okay.
awake time.
Then maybe an hour or two.
And we were pissed off at each other?
No, that we avoid each other.
It's probably like 4. I'll go 4.
Okay, 4 hours.
Yeah.
I can't do it because it's like usually when and I think why we're gonna be good at empty nesting, because it's like after like 3 or 4 hours, it's like I usually come across something that I really enjoy, and I might tell my friends and stuff. It's like, tell Sarah, and I feel like you're similar. You're like, I think this is really funny, So we're like, we can't avoid each other too long.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you enjoy my sense of humor.
I do.
I adore your sense of humor.
I'm hilarious.
And I think it's because her sense of humor is delusional. And I think that's the best part about her sense of humor. No, but I really enjoy your sense of humor because it can be so smart and then be so
Itsy.
slapstick stupid within 30 seconds. It can be like this sharp, witty, funny thing, and then next thing is like, he fell down. Right? I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
Love him.
Right. I was like, it's both.
Yeah.
It's not just smart, it can be stupid too.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm in a similar boat. And so I don't think we're gonna have a lot of issues with it. And I think some people might. But I think since I met you, I think that's what drew me towards you. It was kind of going, you're a parent, but you're a parent of future adults. And I see that in you. And I always look at that too, as like all these kids are going to have to be adults.
Yeah.
So maybe I started teaching them to be adults too early or too late. I feel like you did it too late. You feel like I did it too early.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, if you can look up and play a video game on your iPad, you can do your own laundry. Like, to me, I was like, that's how my brain works. I was like, you're already doing complex calculations.
Yeah.
You can push 2 buttons and fold some stuff.
Sure.
That's the way I look at it. You can sweep a floor.
Yeah.
If you can play the Switch and play table tennis on the Switch, I'm pretty sure you can sweep a floor and do dishes.
It's true.
Pretty sure.
I agree.
And that's usually, and in this day and age, that's like 6.
I know. It's true.
So don't deny them that, because kids already want to do what you're doing at that age. So it's like, let them do it.
Even like Becca having little Orville pick up, like he's in charge of both living rooms.
I saw that.
She said they had a massive, like the ball pit fight the other day. And she's like, and I said, all right, you got to pick it up. And he said, that's not fair. You helped make the mess too. And Becca's like, it's your chore. Pick up the balls. She's like, he was mad, but he did it.
Well, but his focal point is one little small area. That's his area.
Yep.
You screwed it up.
Right.
I was like, yeah, but you screwed up and I had to buy this and I had to do this. It's like, but you're like, nah.
Yep.
But realistically, it's like humans don't scientifically, the humans don't have that cognitive relationship in their brain until like their mid late 20s. That's been discovered. Like it's just a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just average. So some people at 15, some people never.
Yeah.
Right. That's probably
True.
why it's mid late 20s.
I will say this too. I think the other interesting thing about both you and I is that we had kids so young.
Yeah.
That a lot of people had that, like, before kids, here's all the things that I did. And we're like, before kids, we graduated high school. Then we had kids. I didn't do
You didn't
anything
do what I did.
before
I did
kids.
a lot.
Yeah, I didn't. So
I
to
did
me,
a lot,
I'm like,
but I started at like 13 doing stupid crap.
right. I'm not talking about stupid. I'm just like experiencing life in general. Like I didn't really, you know, it was graduate high school. Then I had a kid. Wait 2 years, I had more kids. Then wait 2 years, I had more kids. And so it's like there was
Same.
right now is
literally
like,
that was my life too.
yeah. So right now is like the point where we're not super old. We're okay.
This guy is.
You're not super old.
I'm just old.
Yeah. We're at the point where we can still go, like, now we get to do those like experience life moments of like, let's just get up and go do something because there's nothing on the calendar as long as it's not work.
Well, even if there is something on the calendar, can we do it remotely?
Right.
I was like,
Sometimes, yeah.
it's a Zoom meeting.
Sometimes.
Right. I was just like, if it's a remote meeting or
Right.
a phone call,
Can be anywhere.
who cares if we're in San Antonio,
Right.
Ireland, Belize? It doesn't matter. Do we have internet? Cool.
Yeah.
We can make that happen.
Yeah.
And I think that was was it Ola said that to me? He was asking me that last night. Your dad's wife. Was asking me, I was like, oh, now that, you know, he's graduated, it's the last one. I was like, are you guys going to travel more? I was like, my first answer was, we travel already.
Right.
Like, we just got back from Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gone to San Diego recently. We've gone,
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest. We go to the Seattle or Olympia area every couple months. I was like, maybe we'll do further travel.
Right.
Now that in hindsight, I didn't say that, but I was like, we already traveled.
Yeah.
Like, and I think we've always had that mentality in our brain because when we even started dating, we were already traveling to see each other.
Right.
So it was kind of normal. It's like, and 2-hour flight is not like a crazy thing.
And I was so thankful enough to have family around to where, because there are some people who literally is like their kids are their entire life. And every time that they leave the house, the kids are always with them.
Right.
Even by choice. Some people are like, no, if I'm going somewhere, my kid's going with me. And I've never been that person.
That's okay.
Right. I'm
But
just saying
I just
I've
feel-
never been that person. So right now, like even going on trips without the kids, it's not like, oh my gosh, we're losing that family trip element because the kids, well, we invite TJ to trips all the time. He says, no, I don't want to go. So when people see us out, I want you guys to understand, it's not because we're not inviting CJ. He doesn't want to go. He says
No,
we're
he's
boring.
always in.
He thinks we're real boring and the trip sounds
And we
real
think
boring.
he's boring.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. Like, sometimes we just think each other are boring.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that he's not boring at.
Right.
Right. I was like, going to, like, if we go to Avila Beach, nah, he's not boring.
No.
Like, the kids are not boring.
No.
They go out there and play in the
They
ocean.
joke, they have fun.
And we love watching
Yeah.
them and buying them ice cream. And I was like, this is hilarious
Yes.
because it's the concept of CJ is like, oh, I'm not going to get wet. And then he comes back soaking,
Yes.
dripping wet. Literally
lake.
happened today. No, it's just who he is. He's like, oh, I just don't want to get in the river or in the ocean.
Yeah.
I don't want to get wet. And then he always comes back soaking wet.
Yep.
Right. And then he's the guy that we have to find a change of clothes for,
Yes.
put a towel down.
Yep.
And we just know that,
Since he's
even
been
though he's
3.
like, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Since
Since
I met him at 3.
Yeah.
I met him at 3 years old, and that's the first thing he did. I was like, oh no, I'm not
He's
gonna get
always
wet.
done his
And then he
whole
comes
life.
back wetter than
Mhm.
and dirtier than anybody else.
It's always been CJ, please don't get in the ocean.
Well, I
He'll be,
won't,
he'll be
Mom.
this big. Okay.
I'm
CJ,
not getting in
CJ,
the ocean.
Don't get in that. Don't get in that. Okay. He's
I'm
in.
not gonna get in the ocean.
He's now fallen down, and the waves
Yeah.
have run over him.
He's-
my dad was always like, "Oh no, he fell down." I said, "I know."
That's
It's-
our son. That's
I
just
know,
who he is.
Deborah.
I mean, this year he hasn't fallen down. He's wrecked his bike. Oh, never mind.
That doesn't count. He literally fell off his bike.
Yeah, he turned the wheel, flipped over. We
Yeah.
talked about that.
Right.
Yeah. Never mind.
It's genetics, man. We're clumsy people.
Ah.
I think it started with me because I don't remember my parents falling. Oh, mom fell.
I've watched your mom run into doors.
Mom fell in China. Oh, I remember that. She busted her
I've
butt.
seen her run into doors and stuff
Yeah,
like
never
that.
mind.
Because I just feel like there's a certain amount of I'm thinking about everything except for what's in front of me.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like that's why I think CJ doesn't see 5 feet in front of him.
Yeah.
Because he's thinking about so many things and he's like, boom, whoops, I fell down again.
Happens, man.
It does.
Yes.
So yeah, that's our plans.
You excited? You nervous? You whatever?
Who, me?
Yeah. You feel like it's gonna be the same?
I don't think it's gonna be the same. I'm excited because I'm one of those I'm one of those guys, one of those dads that loves to see how my kid blooms.
Yeah.
I want to see the bloom.
Yeah.
And how it blooms. Whether it's I don't care what that's such a good one. Doesn't matter what kind of flower it's gonna be. It doesn't matter, what it does, but I just want to see the bloom.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we're waiting for R3 from this household to see where the bloom is.
Yeah.
Right?
Little buds everywhere.
Yeah.
Little leaves and
Little
buds
things going
happening.
everywhere. But I'm waiting for the bloom. I haven't seen a bloom yet. I have in my older daughters a couple times. Like
Yeah.
after the bloom, the thing dies, right? And then another bloom comes.
Yeah.
But I just haven't seen a bloom yet. And that's my kind of parenting. I just want to see what they do.
Right.
Not because of me. It was just like, what are they going to do with the things that they've experienced and the things they've gone through? What are they going to do with it?
Turn that into, yeah.
Yeah, what are they going to do with it? And if they become like a person that loves their job, they work 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, they go home, they watch movies, play video games, and they love life, that's a bloom.
Yeah.
To me.
Lisa's very bloomish right now.
She's close.
Yeah.
It's starting to open, but she hasn't fully bloomed.
Yeah.
Because she's still not confident in where she's at.
Yeah.
If she was confident in it, I was like, you've bloomed.
Right.
Right. Because I don't think she's doing poorly. I think she's doing very well in her establishment and her routine and doing all this stuff. I just don't think she feels that yet.
Yeah. Because you can see it on the outside. You can see like you're getting very close to being a full adult right there.
Yeah. I was like very close. But it's like it's opening, but it's like you might need one more spring.
Right.
And I don't know what that takes. Like
spring. It's funny.
That's when things bloom.
Yeah.
Right?
It sounds funny.
Why? And the spring could come like tomorrow.
Right.
Like we don't know.
Yeah. Especially in this climate.
You know me. I've come from a long line of poets, I guess.
Talkers. I don't know if they're poets, but they definitely like to talk.
Yeah. But no, that's my style. So it's like our empty-ish nest is going to be, I think it's going to be great. We can show up for more nieces, nephews, I feel like.
I hope people understand that. If you're our family and you're like, our kid has a thing, we want someone to show up, you should tell us.
Let us know. Because we're empty.
Nice.
We've been progressively even getting there because he's just been able to be home by himself for a while and those type of things. If you have nieces, if we have nieces, nephews, or grandkids or whatever, like, let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
Let us know. I'm like, we're literally going to the Northwest next month to see a grandkids play.
Yeah.
Like that's our sole focus. We're doing other things at the same time, but I was like, but that's the thing, like everything else, if it comes in conflict with that, we're canceling that.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to see a play that she's in. If there's a born on day anniversary, let us know, because it's not because of the birthday part. It's more about people are there and it's important for that person, for you just to be there. We don't bring gifts usually, but
we're the present.
We go there. Yeah. Our presence is the present. No, but we like showing up for stuff. So if you want to, yeah,
we'll go.
And all my nieces and nephews, if they let me know, it's like, hey, I got this thing. I think it's super cool. I was like, hey, I'll do my best to be there.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter
do.
where you are.
We do that.
If you're in another country, we'll probably put you on a higher priority. We're like, we're going to, where are we going? Australia?
As soon as Jill's like, a friend of ours, as soon as she's like, hey guys, we're going to Scotland in this month.
I was like,
all right, let's
all
write
right,
this
so
down.
not a niece or nephew, but
We need to support her
close enough.
in her transition also.
Yes.
Her kid's going all the way to Scotland.
Yeah, that's amazing. So cool.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, that's our life that's about to go down.
Yeah, so if you want to take that turn with us,
Let's go.
just let us know.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of wanted to go to like the soccer games, the football games that you've gone to.
Yeah. Because there's a practice Tuesday, but the games are Friday. You couldn't do Tuesdays, but you can do Fridays.
I can still do Tuesdays.
Yeah, you can.
Every once in a while.
Okay. But Friday, if we move it to Thursday, we could do both of them.
Mm-hmm. We could do concerts in the park right after.
We could do concerts in the park. We could
Right after we go to soccer.
soccer.
Right after we watch the soccer game. I was like, I'm down. I love seeing that stupid crap. I know that sounds awful, but I mean, we went to soccer for a minute.
Yeah.
I coached soccer for 2 years? I was an awful coach.
Such a weird place in life.
What?
I have no more littles. And no, I don't want any more children.
No, it's not a weird place.
I know people are like, you're young enough to have another one. I'm not.
I had no littles for a stint.
I know.
And then
You start over.
you came along.
Yeah.
I'm like, good Lord. These guys are clumsy. I was like, why is everybody falling down all the time? That's honestly how I felt. I was like, why? Because they were so, Errol and Baylor were decently grown by when I met you, right? They were like in their teens.
Yeah.
Like 16?
Had to have been.
I don't know. I don't know. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it was like, then I go, why are they so sticky? And why are they falling down all the time? Like, this is weird.
They do fall down all the time.
And they're sticky. There's some of them are still sticky.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. When CJ drives a car and I go in after it, I was like, why is my steering wheel sticky?
It just exudes sugar.
No. It's just wash your hands. It's just things are sticky.
Oh gosh. It's gonna be an interesting place when we all have our own cars.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get there. Yeah. I mean, there's only so many cars we can buy, man.
Dude,
this is what our fifth car that we own.
No, 4.
Okay, but you the Sonata,
yeah,
bought
yeah,
paid out. So 4,
yeah,
4 total that we literally own right now.
Yeah,
we own 4 cars.
Well, there's 5 of us, so we need 5.
I understand, but that's insane.
I know.
We own 4 cars right now.
The problem. What else do you do in a city that has no transportation?
Yeah, that's another thing. I feel like if we lived in a different city, we'd probably have one.
I don't know what city that would be.
New York?
So Europe? New York, maybe.
That's not a city.
I know. New York would probably be the only option because LA doesn't have good transportation either.
Mm-hmm. Way better than Sacramento.
I didn't say better than. I said
no. They have a good. They do have a good bus system compared to us.
Yeah, but not compared to Europe. That's where I compare everything to.
The Bay Area has a good bus system. BART is great.
Yeah, but the way our jobs work is we can't not have a car.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I said 1 car.
Yeah, we couldn't just have 1 car either. Because you don't like being home without a car. You lose your mind.
But I could be home with a BART.
Could you?
Yeah. I've done public transportation for years.
I know what you've done, but you got spoiled.
I have no problem like getting on public transportation, especially if it was right outside my front door.
Okay.
It's not even a problem.
You wanted to Uber to the school the other day.
Yeah, it was 2 miles. And public transportation that picks you up out front will take you 2 miles. I used to do it.
It's a friggin' midget in your
I used to take public transportation that was from my front house, front of my apartment. It would take, and Target was 2 miles. I could walk.
Right.
But it was 2 miles. It could take me there. but it ran every hour. So I'd go there, shop, hop on the bus back.
Yeah.
I was gone for maybe 2.5 hours tops.
Makes sense.
Did it all the time.
We don't have that here. All right, well, let's go watch some movies, eh?
We cutting it?
Yeah. Call it a
All
night.
right. Thanks for joining us. We will be back here next Friday, right?
We should.
No, maybe next Thursday.
Ooh, no.
Okay. So she brought up that we could do Thursdays, and then she goes, "No,
well, you
we
have to
can't."
give me time. I have to adjust the schedule.
All right. So,
July 1st, we will move to
okay,
Thursdays.
forget that of 2027.
No.
So the way Sarah works is she overpromises,
No,
delivers.
I can't move. Like next week is crazy. I'm scheduled out till like mid-June. Otherwise, it'd be so expensive.
I was just asking if you're available Thursday at 7 p.m. next week.
No.
Okay.
I can't.
Shoot. This was your idea.
I still want to do Thursdays.
It's insane.
But again, you have to give like 30-day notice. It's like a job.
That's 2 weeks notice at a
30
job.
days is the nice thing to do.
No, that's at a job? Who are you?
What kind of
That's
person?
when you move out.
Well, then it's like moving out. I need 30
we're not
days
moving out.
notice.
So we will see you soon. Look for our post. We will probably be here next Friday.
For sure.
But we are looking, depending on what you guys want, let us know if Thursday works better. Put it in the comments. Send us a text, because the only people who watch this are people we know. There's like 3 people that we don't. Well, they still have our number.
Oh, there's no Rudy today.
Yeah,
He
where's
didn't
our
keep
Rudy?
track of time.
Yeah, Rudy didn't
They.
keep track of time.
I don't know what they are.
So thank you very much. We will see you very soon, and show up in real life. Please. Show up in real life.
Yeah.
It actually means a lot. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. Bye.